checking out the Dakota today because we are almost done. I didn't video a lot of the stuff that I did yesterday, but as you can see, the list has gotten smaller. There's a few little things that I have to actually add to the list. Other than the front axle, there's just very little that I actually have to do. I got the wheels and tires on, and she's tall. She is very tall. So these are the Vision wheels that I got, and I ended up painting them because, like I said, they weren't all matching. So I went with this charcoal gray and then did red and blue on the rings. But she is tall, and she is definitely a big girl. As I'm going by, got the exhaust done too. Tried hole sawing it, hole sawed it too far to one side, so you know, it is what it is. But just got the pipe clamp down there, cut 2 notches in it, but should be good there. The rear end sits up about an inch or so higher than the front, but I also still have to put fuel in the tank. That's about a 20-gallon tank. So 20 gallons, that's about 120-ish pounds, 122 pounds. And then I'm gonna have a spare 40 in the center, and then I'm gonna have a toolbox back here. So end all meet all, I'll probably have close to around 300 pounds, and that should level the bed out with the front. But this thing is looking really good. I ended up dropping down the rear shackle 1 notch and chopping it because it was sitting a little too high, and I ended up cutting the rear end on each side to clear the rears. And then the front, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet because I know the tire is going to rub in this area. I'm probably going to have to cut the fender well out, so I'll probably unbolt the inner fender well and cut it out right here. I don't want to take this out completely because then it's just going to sling mud all in the engine bay. And then I'll have to chop this probably here and come up to this line, and then probably chop this front about here. But as you can see, I only really have like 3 or 4 inches of up travel in the front, and the rest is down travel. And then in the rear, I have 6 to 7 inches of up travel and 7 or 8 inches of down travel. I still have to do a flex test so to see where everything's going to land, but the rear, I'm not worried about it stuffing and hitting here. There's plenty of clearance. The truck is coming along though. I mean, it is definitely sitting a little bit taller than I thought it would. And at first I didn't know what to think, but honestly, I think it's what the truck has needed for a while. It has definitely needed 40s. And the biggest thing that I like is look at all that ground clearance. Like, that is quite a bit of clearance. I mean, even for the driveline. My driveline used to sit like way down here. I used to drag axle all the time, but with these 40s, I have got all the ground clearance. So one other thing that I still need to do is I've bled all the brakes, but I'm not getting proper brake pressure. So I might have to change out, I'm guessing, a vacuum booster or a brake master cylinder. So that is another thing I'm gonna have to do before we actually take it out on the trail. Come on. Ready? Go get it. So I still have to do the breather tube on the 9-inch as well. And I'm still thinking I'm going to put this somewhere either on this side or this side. But I have to double check the thread pitch for this so I can drill and tap my hole. We did take it out on a test drive just to make sure everything was actually good, and it has not lost any of its pep whatsoever. So I'm very happy for that. We weren't going very fast for the fact being that I didn't have my breather tube, but just wanted to make sure everything was actually good. And the interior is pretty much done. I got to run the rest of the wires for the buggy whips, and I've gotten a temporary switch down here to just turn it on and off. I'm probably going to move this switch onto my center console, but for Coda's dog bed, she is going to be very comfortable. So we got some of this waterproof vinyl and I stapled it up. We got a nice dog bed here, and we got some blankets back here, and this thing still raises up, so she is going to be extremely comfortable back there. We'll probably bring more blankets once it hits winter time and we actually start going out. But yeah, this thing is looking good. I got all the wiring tied up back there, so that's all tidy. And yeah, so let's get working on everything else and see what else we can't get done. Breather tube is on and ready to rock and roll. So this is going to be way better than having a tube go all the way up. It's just this piece right here. I was trying to find a tap and I couldn't find one at the time. Went over to my buddy Jake's, and he ended up having the tap that I need and the hole saw for the exhaust, even though I hole saw it in the wrong spot. So thank you, Jake, if you're watching this. I appreciate it, and I will be bringing your parts back. Got all of the stuff that was originally in the back of the Dakota, in the back seat, that is going to need to go in a toolbox. Got it all laid out, got it all organized, and yeah, so we got to find a storage bin or a toolbox to fit all this as well. Well, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, stay off-road.